But I'm not a brother no more, man.
Huh?
I'm not a brother no more, bro.
Because of what?
Just because I'm not, bro.
Explain.
I'm not a brother. You said I'm son, a father, a brother. I'm not a brother.
Do you have any siblings?
I love my sister, but I don't think I'm her brother no more.
I just need more closure with, you said you're not a brother.
I think a lot of the stories are becoming out of control and super extreme. Again, you know, you start one way, and then as it builds, there's thousands of people coming in, creating a new narrative. And when you do your research or your due diligence on it, a lot of it doesn't come back.
Ray J, the man the internet loves to call the Chaos King, is back in the middle of headlines. And this time, it's not about music, not about his infamous glasses, not even about another reality show stunt. No, this time Ray J's name is buzzing because of his loyalty to Diddy, and the whispers that loyalty might not be as innocent as it looks. People have been side-eyeing Ray J's ride-or-die energy for Puff for months now, but the real twist came when his big sister Brandy allegedly slid into the conversation with some shade that people swear was aimed directly at her brother. And when Brandy speaks, the same Brandy the industry calls the vocal Bible, the one who's always polished, rarely messy, and usually above the chaos, people pay attention. To understand how messy this moment is, let's back it up. Ray J has been screaming "Free Diddy" louder than Diddy's own so-called industry sons. While half of Hollywood has been quietly tiptoeing away from Puff because of the lawsuits, the FBI investigations, and the endless party rumors, Ray J has been front and center. He's been hopping on lives, podcasts, interviews, anywhere he can get a mic to defend Puff's name. Every time people expect silence, Ray J doubles down. And he's not doing it with vague statements either. He's been loud, he's been proud, and he's been consistent. To some, it looks like blind loyalty. To others, it looks like strategy. Because let's be real, in this industry, nobody makes noise without purpose. Ray J knows exactly what the headlines are saying about Diddy. He knows the spotlight is toxic right now, and yet, instead of ducking and staying out the way, he's stepping up to carry the torch. He even went so far as to call himself the new Diddy during a sit-down with Tyson. Proudly aligning himself with a man who's currently under fire. Now, maybe that's just Ray J being Ray J, the same man who once tried to fight Fabulous over a joke, and who has made a career out of stirring the pot. But maybe, just maybe, he's trying to audition for a role. That's where Brandy comes in. Because while Ray J thrives in chaos, Brandy has always played the opposite role. She's the respectable sibling, the legendary singer with a catalog that still gives her respect decades later, the one who built a career on talent and discipline instead of stunts and scandals. She's the big sister who taught Ray J how to hold himself in front of cameras, who always projected poise even when the industry tried to drag her. So when Brandy allegedly throws shade at her brother, people don't brush it off. She doesn't speak without reason. She's not the type to clown for clout. If she hints at something, it usually means there's truth under the surface. And according to blogs, Brandy's shade wasn't explosive. It wasn't a rant or a messy meltdown. It was subtle, calculated, a slick comment that landed like an expose, almost like she was drawing a line in the sand. Ray J is my brother, but I'm not standing with him on this. Don't confuse my brand with his choices. Some read it as a warning, almost as if she was telling Ray J himself, "You're playing with fire and you don't even see the flames." The internet ate it up. People started pulling receipts of Ray J screaming loyalty for Puff, from the times he bragged about being at Diddy's parties, to the clips where he defended Puff's innocence with his whole chest, to the interview where he puffed his chest out and claimed the throne himself. The comments were brutal. Ray J, read the room. Why you louder than Puff's own family? You campaigning for a job or covering something up? And once Brandy's alleged shade entered the mix, those whispers about Ray J's motives only got louder. Because let's not act like this isn't Hollywood. When someone at the top falls, there's always a line of people ready to take their spot. Diddy's empire has been bigger than music for decades. He's been a mogul, a gatekeeper, a kingmaker. And now, with investigators circling and lawsuits piling up, that empire has cracks all through it. The throne looks shaky, and in the middle of that storm, here comes Ray J, shouting loyalty louder than anybody else, calling himself the new heir, making sure people know his name every time Diddy's comes up. Is that love? Is that loyalty? Or is that positioning? That's the question Brandy's comment lit on fire. Because Brandy isn't messy, but she is protective. She spent her career watching her brother crash into drama after drama, and she's always been there to steady the ship. If she's throwing shade now, maybe it's because she sees the danger in what he's doing. Maybe she knows the streets are whispering about sacrifices, about people getting too close to Diddy's empire at the wrong time. And maybe she doesn't want Ray J dragged down in the same mess. Online, fans turned the moment into a frenzy. Some called Ray J the definition of loyalty, saying he's standing tall when everyone else is running away. Others dragged him, accusing him of chasing clout, trying to step into Diddy's shoes instead of letting them burn. And then there were the conspiracy whispers. The people saying Brandy's shade wasn't just about reputation. It was about warning Ray J not to play games with forces bigger than him. At the end of the day, this isn't just a sibling spat. This is two careers moving in opposite directions, colliding on the same stage. Brandy has spent decades keeping her name clean, avoiding unnecessary drama, focusing on music, acting, and longevity. Ray J, on the other hand, has built an empire out of chaos, from reality TV antics to wild interviews to messy business ventures. And now, with Diddy's name hotter than lava, Ray J is out here putting himself in the center of it all. Brandy's alleged shade just highlighted the obvious. This isn't a safe place to stand. But here's the part that makes it even juicier. The gossip blogs aren't just talking about loyalty anymore. They're talking about strategy. They're asking whether Ray J's over-the-top defense of Diddy is about more than friendship. Because every clip, every post, every free Puff hashtag puts Ray J's name next to Diddy's in the headlines. And if Puff really does fall, who benefits from that visibility? Who gets the call when people start asking, who's next? Ray J might be loyal. He might just be reckless. Or he might be one of the smartest players in the game, turning his ride or die act into an audition for the throne. Meanwhile, Brandy's reputation stays untouched. By throwing a little shade, she separates herself just enough to protect her brand while still signaling that she sees what's happening. And because Brandy almost never engages in this type of mess, her alleged comment hit harder than 1,000 tweets. So now, the question isn't just about Ray J and Diddy. It's about Brandy too. Did she expose her brother to save him, or did she expose him to save herself? Either way, the internet's already made up its mind. The story's no longer just about Diddy's downfall. It's about how far Ray J is willing to go to defend him, and whether Brandy just pulled the curtain back on the game he's really playing. Ray J has never been a stranger to chaos, but lately, the way his name is moving through the blogs feels like it's hitting a new level. This isn't just another wild headline about him clashing with somebody on Love and Hip Hop or going viral for breaking glasses in an interview. This is about his loyalty to Diddy, his sudden boldness in calling himself the new Diddy, and his big sister Brandy allegedly stepping into the mix with shade that people swear is her way of distancing herself from his choices. And the way the public is reacting, it's giving full split screen energy. Half the people see a loyal protege defending his mentor, and the other half see a clout chaser standing way too close to the fire. Other sites wasted no time flipping the narrative, framing Ray J as the opportunist waiting to slide into Diddy's crumbling empire. They painted him as someone who can't resist an opening, a man willing to attach his name to Puff even while the mogul's reputation is drowning in lawsuits and scandal. Then came the messy blogs, the ones that love to turn smoke into wildfire. They stitched together Ray J's endless hashtag Free Puff posts with his interview on Kai Cenat's stream, where he proudly positioned himself as the heir. Suddenly, the headlines weren't about Ray J being loyal. They were about him plotting, auditioning, and maybe even rehearsing for the crown. Fans jumped right into the debate, splitting Twitter right down the middle. One side insisted that Ray J was simply standing up for the man who opened doors for him, his mentor, someone he felt he owed. That's loyalty, they said, and loyalty is rare in an industry built on snakes. But the other side wasn't buying it. To them, Ray J looked thirsty, too loud, too insistent, too present in every Diddy-related conversation. They accused him of wanting to be Puff so badly he was willing to stand in the flames even as the whole world was running from the smoke. And hovering over this messy back and forth was Brandy. People began dissecting her alleged words like they were scripture, pulling apart every syllable as if she had just dropped a coded warning. Brandy, the polished one, the legend who usually keeps her family drama off the timeline, allegedly slipped out a piece of truth for the public. And that little hint, that subtle shade, hit harder than any big rant ever could. For fans, it felt like Brandy was tired of cleaning up Ray J's mess behind the scenes. Like maybe this time she decided to let a little truth leak so people could see what she's been dealing with. That's what keeps this whole saga spicy. Because when the world is already questioning your motives, the last thing you need is your own sister, the sister with the spotless image, dropping hits that confirm their suspicions. And for Ray J, those suspicions aren't new. He has a whole resume of chaos that the internet never forgets. And every time his name pops up in drama, people pull the files. The first one people always reach for is Whitney Houston. Back in 2012, when Whitney tragically passed away, Ray J's name was everywhere. The official report said it was accidental drowning with heart complications and substances in her system. That's what's on paper. But the whispers never left. Conspiracy corners online have spent years suggesting Ray J was too close to the whirlwind around Whitney in her final days. Whether that's fair or not, that shadow still follows him. And Brandy, who was tied to Whitney like family, lived through that grief too. So when she allegedly threw shade at Ray J for being so tight with Diddy, fans immediately connected the dots. They said she's seen this pattern before. Men in her brother's orbit, scandal and tragedy swirling, and Ray J standing too close to the epicenter. But Whitney isn't the only skeleton people drag out when Ray J's name comes up. The infamous tape with Kim Kardashian, that's still one of the most discussed scandals in pop culture. Some people argue it launched an empire. For Ray J, it's proof he knows how to capitalize on chaos. Then there was his dating show For the Love of Ray J, which was a mess in itself. Add on his antics on Love and Hip Hop Hollywood, the arguments, the stunts, the countless viral moments, and you start to see why people say drama is his brand. He's always been relevant, but rarely for the right reasons. Now layer that reputation on top of the Diddy parties. Everybody has heard the whispers about those infamous late-night gatherings. Stories about celebrity guest lists, questionable behavior, and wild scenes that go way beyond champagne and dancing. And somehow, Ray J's name is always in the mix. Allegedly, he's not just an occasional guest. He's a fixture, someone who looks comfortable in that world even while others are trying to back away from it. So when you stack all that up, Whitney's shadow, the tape, the reality TV stunts, and his constant presence at Puff's parties, people start to say, of course Brandy's side-eyeing this. She's seen this movie before. Then comes the kicker. After all that history, after all those scandals, after all the whispers, Ray J looks dead in the camera with Kai Cenat and declares he's the new Diddy. He doesn't frame it as admiration, doesn't say he looks up to Puff, doesn't even soften it with gratitude. He claims the title outright, and the internet nearly explodes. To his critics, it was confirmation that he's not just defending Diddy, he's auditioning to inherit him. To his supporters, it was bold ambition. Ray J finally saying he wants mogul status. But ambition can look like desperation when the timing is off. Puff's empire is wobbling under the weight of legal battles, and Ray J choosing this moment to stake a claim makes people wonder. Is he chasing a bag, or is he stepping into something darker? Is Brandy's alleged shade just her calling him out for embarrassing the family? Or is it her hinting that she sees more than we do? And that's where the whispers about sacrifices come back into play. People online love to tie Hollywood loyalty to conspiracy. Ray J's name has been floating in those conversations for years, especially linked to the rumors around Diddy's inner circle. So when Brandy allegedly threw her subtle jab, fans read it as insider tea. Like she wasn't just annoyed, she was warning him. Maybe warning the public too. The parallels are messy, but they're easy to see. In pop culture history, there's always someone waiting in the wings, ready to step up when the king starts slipping. Jermaine Dupri tried to play that role in Atlanta, though it never stuck. Solange carved her lane while Beyoncé stood as the icon. There's always that understudy, that protege, that sibling ready to inherit the crown. And now, with Diddy's throne looking shakier by the day, Ray J is out here on Instagram yelling, "Pick me, coach, I'm ready." But ambition in the wrong shadow can be a curse. Brandy knows this. Her whole career has been about maintaining her voice, her image, and her dignity in an industry that eats people alive. For her to allegedly expose her own brother, even just a little, makes it clear she doesn't want his choices tied to her name. And the public rewarded her for it. Instead of dragging Brandy for shading family, they applauded her. They said she looked even more polished, more holy, more legendary for standing on truth. While Ray J looked like he was spiraling deeper into chaos, Brandy came out looking like the voice of reason, the protector of her brand. For Ray J, though, this could be his biggest gamble yet. On one side, aligning yourself with Diddy, even now, puts you in proximity to power. People still respect Puff's legacy, even if they question his present. By shouting his loyalty, Ray J keeps his name attached to that mogul energy. That new Diddy line grabs headlines and reframes him as more than just Brandy's brother or the guy from the tape. It paints him as mogul material. But on the other side, Diddy's brand is drowning. His name is tied to lawsuits, raids, and allegations that won't go away. By stepping under that umbrella, Ray J might think he's protecting himself from the rain, but that umbrella is full of holes. He's getting soaked with the same mess Puff is stuck in. And the streets, don't forget, they still side-eye Whitney. They still drag him for the tape. They still call him chaos personified. So if he really believes this is his mogul moment, he has to face the fact that half the internet already sees him as the guy who thrives on being in the wrong place at the wrong time. Meanwhile, the industry is watching like hawks. Networks, brands, and business partners don't like instability. They don't like lawsuits. They don't like being tied to mess they can't control. If Ray J's loyalty looks less like friendship and more like clout chasing for the crown, the bags will quietly move the other way. And if Brandy's shade really was a warning, maybe she's telling him exactly that. Stop before you burn everything down.